Hey there, random internet strangers. It's Random Bitcoin Guy uh, here with the dollar cost average beast mode tutorial. I'd like to introduce myself. Uh, I am a college dropout with majors in math and physical science. Uh, got tired of the college scene. That was in the late 80s and so early 90s actually. So I began my journey into fitness, nutrition, martial arts, and sports psychology self-study. And that has been an ongoing process for 30 years, learning new things about those uh, disciplines. Later on, I picked up an interest in macroeconomics and trading in 2008. I began my study into macroeconomics and trading. So 13 years of experience doing that and still learning a lot. I've got a long ways to go as far as mastering the macro scene. So that's just a little introduction about myself and my qualifications and what I can attest to. And I developed this dollar cost average strategy for the average working individual. So let's take a look at that real quick. Dollar cost average beast mode is designed to lower the average of your DCA over time by withholding percentages of dollars as the price of Bitcoin goes up and down. In bull mode, we get more aggressive at dollar cost averaging. In bear mode, we get more aggressive at withholding dollars to buy dips. So that's, in a nutshell, the elevator pitch that I give to get people to grasp the understanding of what dollar cost average beast mode does. It lowers the average of your dollar cost average. And my mathematics background and my trading background, I combine those two to develop this system. And as I said, it's for the working class Joe that doesn't have time to trade. I've been one of those. I mean, I know how to trade. I enjoy trading, but I find it very difficult. If you have a family, I'm empty nester now, but when I did have a family, there was a lot of mouths to feed, a lot of roofs to fix, septic tanks to fix, and so that I was never able to accumulate enough money to trade and make it my full-time passion. I didn't have enough equity to do that, and so I came up with this strategy to allow me to do that. And so you always want to be able to pay your bills first, and quite frankly, with wives, ex-wives, girlfriends, kids, stepkids, dogs, cats, hamsters. It's a lot of mouths to feed, so it made it very difficult for me to save. So now that I'm an empty nester, it's a little bit easier. And I don't know where you are in your life journey, but you should be setting aside some money, even if it's only $10 a week. And this will help you to accumulate Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is up only on average 200% every year. So that's going to beat any 401k IRA that you're going to be able to do, and without having to learn trading. So let's move on to the next slide. So I scoured the internet, and I was the best fiat bridge. So you're going to need to transfer your fiat money that you make at your job or your investments or wherever, and convert that into cryptocurrency. And so you need a bridge to do that. And I found, I looked all over, and this is the fastest, easiest, and most versatile bridge is Coinbase. So using the Coinbase debit card, is the easiest, fastest, and most versatile fiat bridge to date. Get one fast. Please use the link provided and get $10 in Bitcoin with your first $100 deposit. I'll provide the links at the end of this presentation and down below in the descriptions. So there's plenty of tutorials out there on how to set up a Coinbase account, going through KYC, MAL, that's know your customer, and anti-money laundering. Excuse me. So I'm not going to go into that. So once you get your Coinbase account set up, and to help and support the channel, use the links provided, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be updating these videos and other things as I find better opportunities in cryptocurrency land. But getting back to the Coinbase, make sure that you got your Coinbase account, and then you want to get the Coinbase Visa debit card. So what this allows you to do is that you can top it up with USDC. That's a stable coin that's backed 1-to-1 with the United States dollar. And so you want to be paying with USDC because there's no fees involved with that. Now you can use other cryptocurrencies to buy and purchase goods and services with this debit card, but it's going to cost you a fee, percentage. I don't know the exact percentage because I'm not going to use that feature. I'm going to be purchasing USDC coins and then using that for my everyday purchases and also to trade. So that's what makes it the most versatile fiat bridge out there. There's some you can bridge and trade, but you can't buy things. And then there's some that you can bridge and buy things, but you can't trade. This is the only one that I found where you can do both. And then with your purchases, your everyday purchases, your rent, your utilities, your food, things like that, you get 1% Bitcoin on those purchases. So at maybe your mortgage is $1,000, you get $10 in Bitcoin for as cash back, as Bitcoin back, actually, not cash back. So that's a pretty good deal. And so there's no fees for the card. It's a debit card, so you have to, your fiat that you come in from whatever comes in from your job or your investments, you convert that into USDC, and then you'll top it up in this with the Coinbase card. So let's move on. When you click add funds, this box pops up and allows you to top up your debit card with USDC with no fees. That's very important. I'm big on no fees, minimizing fees, minimizing moving things around, keeping things as simple as possible, and eliminating losses and taxes and things like that. So this card can be used anywhere Visa is accepted. So you're just taking your fiat dollars, converting them to cryptocurrency dollars, USDC, and then you can trade with them here on Coinbase, or you can purchase your goods and services that you need and get 1% back in Bitcoin. So yeah, that's a pretty good deal, I think. So you would do maybe a one-time purchase, you buy USDC, and you would link up your bank account. I'm not going to do a video on linking bank accounts. There's plenty of videos out there to do that. I encourage you to look that up as well if you haven't done so already. So let's move on. You can choose between a one-time purchase or weekly and monthly purchases. Now, if you don't want to use the card for your everyday purchases, you can just do your dollar cost average and pull that into the account. So, and do that as a weekly, and it'll be automated, so you'll automatically take it out, so you won't be tempted to withhold on your DCA. And you can trade immediately on Coinbase. So, and USDC trades are free. Now, trading back costs money, but to trade from USDC into Bitcoin or into another stable coin, that's free. So once again, we're eliminating fees. debit card purchases are put on hold pending verification of funds. So you get some of your money when you do the transfer immediately, but then the rest of it they have to confirm that you have the money in your bank account before you will get the full funds, so that you can make your purchases for every day. But you can trade immediately the money that you put in for trade, when you're buying Bitcoin. So these are the coins. There's a lot of coins on Coinbase. That can be confusing, especially if you're new. So these are the ones that we want to focus in on. And future coins, I'm looking at Cardano and seeing if it's going to qualify for the dollar cost average beast mode strategy. There's certain things that I look at. I've done all the hard math and macroeconomics, and I do all that for you, and then just give you the signals, and then you can go out, and it's all free. I don't charge anything for this. So I'm looking at Cardano right now to see if it qualifies to be included into the dollar cost average beast mode strategy. And if it does, then I have to come up with 2 other stable coins for the 2 buckets to store your dollars in while you're waiting to buy dips. But for simplification, we will only discuss Bitcoin, USDC, and DAI, or multi-collateral DAI, MC DAI. That's not McDAI like McDonald's. Yeah, it's multi-collateral. That's what the MC stands for. You might see that. You also might see SAI, SAI. You don't want that coin. You want DAI. You want DAI, which is multi-collateral DAI. They are the same. They are interchangeable. But SAI, SAI, is a different stable coin, and we don't want to use that one. So, for simplification, we're only going to talk about Bitcoin and the three buckets total. The 3 buckets are Bitcoin, DAI, and USDC. DAI is for storing dollars to buy the dip, and USDC is for storing dollars to go all in. So the reason we divide these up is that you're going to get 3 signals. One signal is how much Bitcoin you're going to purchase today, and a percentage of your dollar cost average. The second signal is the buy the dip signal. That's how many dollars you're going to withhold to buy dips when prices go down, so we can purchase them at a discount. And we're going to store them on DAI. The reason we store them on DAI is because DAI earns 2% interest. Now I know it's not a whole lot of money, but on Coinbase, that's a lot of money for Coinbase, but it's not a whole lot of money for to go to other places. And we'll get to where we can store for long term later and earn better interest. But we want to keep it on Coinbase because we don't, like I said, we don't want to move money around and cause fees. This is to keep lowering the fees, and then at the same time we're earning 2% interest on the money that we have stored in DAI to buy the dip. USDC is for storing dollars to go all in. That's for the all in signal, and so we'll just keep that in USDC. So because you're taking your fiat and then you're going to buy USDC, so that money will just stay in USDC. So once again, we're eliminating moving things around too much. These are the typical signals. There's 3 typical signals, and then there's an average signal, but these are the 3 signals that I'm going to show you are good enough to show you the general idea. I'm showing you the extremes, and then there's an average signal, which depends on bull mode or bear mode. So the typical fast-moving bull mode signal for Bitcoin, the DCA is 68.7%, The buy the dip is 23.6%, and the all-in signal is 7.7%. So what do these percentages mean? Okay, so for the DCA signal, 68.7% of your total DCA will purchase Bitcoin today. So if you were, let's say you had $100, let's keep the math simple, $68.70 of that would buy Bitcoin today. So you would just take $68.70 of your USDC and purchase Bitcoin on Coinbase. You do that today. And then 23.6% of your DCA will purchase DAI. So that is $23.60. So that money would be set aside to buy the dip. And you would save that in DAI, and then it's earning 2% interest on top of that. So it'll continue to accrue interest, and you don't have to worry about moving it around. You can keep it on Coinbase. Now the all-in signal is 7.7%. So that means 7.7% of your total DCA will stay in USDC. So you don't have to move it at all. It can just stay in USDC. If you're using your card for other purchases, you might want to move it into another stable coin. So you might move it into PAX or something else, or US Tether. But for simplification purposes, we're going to assume that you're not using your card to make other purchases. But if you are, you want to move that into one of the other stable coins, US Tether or PAX. Let's move on. So, typical fast-moving bear mode signal. Your DCA is 98.2%. Your buy the dip is negative 62.3%. That's very important. That negative is very important. We're going to get to that in a minute. And the all-in signal is 1.8%. Okay, so what do these numbers mean? For the DCA, 98.2% of your total purchase your purchase will be for Bitcoin. So you would, if your DCA was $100, your purchase would be $98.20 of Bitcoin today that you would buy. And for the buy the dip, remember it's 62.3%, but that number is negative. It's very important. So over time, we've been putting money into DAI. So over week after week after week after week, we would have accumulated several hundred, maybe even thousands of dollars of DAI. If our number's negative, that means we're going to take the money out of DAI and purchase Bitcoin with it. We're going to take it out of the bucket, out of the DAI bucket, and purchase Bitcoin. If the number's positive, we put the money in the bucket, in the DAI bucket. If the number's negative, we take the money out. So let's say we have $1,000 of DAI saved up, and Bitcoin's on sale. It's a bargain today. It's a bargain purchase. And so if we had $1,000, then at 62.3%, we would have $623 of Bitcoin that we would take out of DAI and purchase Bitcoin today because it's on sale. So we want to buy a lot of it. And so that's what these buckets are designed to do. Is the DAI bucket is designed to buy these smaller dips. Now, it's not going to be daily. You're going to maybe hear on Twitter that there's going to be, people screaming, buy the dip, buy the dip. If that number is not negative, don't worry about it. We are looking for those big, deep discounts, not those weekly discounts, not the little day-to-day fluctuations. We're not going to concern ourselves with that. That's the beauty of dollar cost average beast modes. We don't have to watch the charts every day. We don't have to get hyped up just because Twitter's all hyped up, because some blue check is saying, Bitcoin's down, buy the dip, and it's only down like maybe 3-5%. We want big, deep discounts. So, and it's moving on to the all-in signal at 1.8%. So 1.8% of your DCA will stay in USDC. Now, if you'll notice that the 98.2% and 1.8%, that's your DCA. And then the 62.3%, that is coming out of your DAI. That is not part of your DCA. When this is negative, you're purchasing with DAI. You're not purchasing with USDC. So, hope I made that clear. That this is very important. I can't stress this enough. When this number's negative, we take money out of the DAI bucket. When this number's positive, we're putting money into the DAI bucket. That's the only one that does that. So you have to remember that. It's very important. Let's move on. The all-in signal. This is to buy market crashes. You'll hear about it on the news. The stock market's crashing, even gold's crashing, Bitcoin's crashing, everything's crashing. The world's coming to an end. And I can't remember the exact whoever quoted it, but he said it must have been, I think it was Rockefeller who said it. It said, when there's blood in the streets, that's the time to buy. When everybody's panic selling, that's when you want to buy. And so you'll see, like, this is different from buying the dip. These are just big dips that happen because of the volatility of Bitcoin. Whereas an all-in signal means that the whole market's crashing. Everything's crashing. Stocks, bonds, everything. There's no safe place. So, except the US dollar. But so what you're going to do is, that's why we keep hold of some US dollars in USDC and in DAI, so that we have the opportunity to purchase Bitcoin at these deep discount prices when the whole world's in flames and going crazy. So when the all-in signal occurs, and we get crashes on average about every 2 years. We had one just not too long ago, but it wasn't deep enough. It didn't hit all the markets, so it wasn't a crash. It was just a big dip, and it actually emptied out. If you were following me before, it emptied out your buy the dip account, but it did not touch your all-in account. So that continued to accumulate. But when these all-in signals occur, like I said, when the whole world's on fire, 100% of your DCA will purchase Bitcoin today. 100% of your DAI will purchase Bitcoin today, and 100% of your USDC will purchase Bitcoin today. So you might have your $100 that you're going to buy with Bitcoin. You're going to buy Bitcoin with that $100 that you've been putting away every week. Maybe you have $1,000 saved up in your DAI account. You would purchase $1,000 of Bitcoin on that day. Maybe you had $10,000 of USDC saved up. If over a couple of years, putting in, $10 here, $15 here, $5 here, $2 there, that can add up to a lot of money over the course of 2-3 years. So you might have $5,000-$10,000. Who knows? It depends upon how much you can commit to in your regular DCA, your daily DCA, or your weekly DCA. So maybe you have $10,000. You would purchase $10,000 of Bitcoin because it's at a suppressed price. You're getting it at a good price. So let's move on. Sometimes people have a sum of money with which they want to purchase Bitcoin. DCA Beast Mode allows you to buy when prices are suppressed. So that's the reason why we put the money into 3 different buckets, because we want to buy at discount prices, whether it's a market correction in Bitcoin or the market crashes, the entire market's in flames. So a lot of times people come in, usually they come in at the worst possible time. They come in when prices are rising and, beast mode signaling, don't put so much in, save some dollars, the market's going to go down, but everybody wants to get all in because they get all FOMO. But you want to do the exact opposite. Your emotions, you don't want to trade with your emotions, you want to trade with your logic. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, and your mind and your body is going to scream, no, you need to get in now, because our bodies are running on fear. So, but we don't want to give in to that fear. We want to use the numbers and the logic and the reason so that we can purchase it at a discount. So you have three options. So people come in, maybe you have $1,000, maybe you have $10,000, maybe you have $1 million. Doesn't really matter. You have a good chunk of change, and you're like, Nick, random Bitcoin guy, I want to buy some Bitcoin. I want to buy it today. And I'll be like, well, the charts are saying, man, maybe not. Maybe that's not a good time to buy right now. What you can do is set that money into one of the buckets, one of the two stablecoin buckets. So you can place the sum in the DAI bucket to buy the dip. And so you know that you're going to get it at a good discount price. You're not going to get it at the bargain basement price, but you're going to get it at the good discount price. So, and it's just going to take percentages out based upon how low it dips. So this is a good time if dollar cost is in bull mode. It's a good time to probably put that money into the buy the dip fund. So that's the first option. The second option is you can place the sum in the USDC bucket to go all in. So you got like I said, you got your 1,000, your 10,000, your $1 million, and you want to set it aside. You set it in the USDC bucket, and it'll hold there until the prices crash, and you can earn interest on it. I'm going to show you ways on how to earn interest while you're waiting for it. And on average, those market crashes occur about every 2 to 3 years on average. So you might be sitting for a while. The last big crash we had was the coronavirus dump. That's when all the markets went to crap. So you might be waiting a while before you can purchase Bitcoin. So you can put it into a stablecoin fund, and I'll show you in a minute how to earn interest on that. Before I get to that, when you want to up your percentage if we are in bear mode, in the beast mode, or in the beast mode strategy. If we're in bear mode, you probably want to put more into the all-in bucket. And third thing is to split the sum up into percentages for each bucket. That's what I was talking about earlier. If we're in bull mode, you probably want to put more into the buy the dip fund and less into the all-in fund. If we're in bear mode, you probably want to put more into the all-in fund and less into the buy the dip fund. So that, because the chances of going all in increase dramatically when we're in bear mode. So we would pick that up at a discounted price. That's why you want to do that. And if you don't want to wait for an all-in signal, maybe we're in bull mode and you don't want to wait, then you can still get it at you'll get more percentage, and then you'd still have some in the all-in bucket. Vice versa, you'd want more in the all-in bucket if we're in bear mode. Hope clear as mud, right? We'll get to that in a little bit. Okay. For long-term holding, over time you're going to start accumulating lots of Bitcoin and lots of USDC. Now, as I said, the DAI is going to stay on Coinbase, because we don't want to move around money too much, because that costs fees and that costs you money. And so by eliminating that, I recommend Celsius for long-term storage of your Bitcoin and USDC. I like Celsius. I like where this company is going. Eventually, we might be able to do dollar cost average beast mode totally on Celsius, where we don't have to move it around in Coinbase at all. But right now, because the fiat bridge is better at Coinbase, that's why I choose Coinbase. But you earn 5.5% interest on your first Bitcoin. So anything under 1 Bitcoin, you're going to earn 5.5% interest. And then 3.5% on additional balances higher than 1 Bitcoin. So you'd still get, if you have more than 1 Bitcoin, you're still going to get 5.5% on your first Bitcoin, but you're going to get 3.5% on anything higher than 1 Bitcoin. So you'll get a blended rate, and that'll fluctuate depending on how much Bitcoin that you have above that first Bitcoin. But a lot of people, especially if you're new, it seems like a daunting task, but how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So, dollar cost averaging week after week after week, and eventually get to that goal of 1 Bitcoin. I think everybody should have a goal of trying to accumulate at least 1 Bitcoin before it becomes unattainable. It's still attainable now if you're smart about it. And then for the all-in bucket, now we can move that USDC that's on Coinbase. We can move it like every month or so. You don't want to keep a whole lot of money on Coinbase. We just want to keep our buy the dip fund on Coinbase. Everything else we want to transfer out. What I recommend is at least every month you pull out your Bitcoin and your USDC. So we can bring the USDC back to trade it if we get an all-in signal. And in the meantime, as of this video, you get 8.8% on your USDC. And it's gonna at least keep up with inflation, if not surpass it. So you'll be earning interest on your USDC while you're waiting for that all-in signal. And if you use the links below that I provide, you get $50 in stablecoin. I believe it's DAI, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go back and check, but I believe it's DAI. If you transfer $400 for 30 days and then hold it there for 30 days, and you'll get $50. And then it helps use these links. It helps support the channel and what I'm doing here. So I'm not going to go into setting up a Celsius account. There's plenty of videos out there to do that, but I'll show you some real quick stuff here on what it looks like inside. They had the Platinum program. They have a coin called Cell Token, and the Cell Token gives you special privileges, and then depending upon your percentage of Cell Token compared to the rest of your balance, you get different levels. And you get above 25%, you get the Platinum level, and you get special discounts. You get bonus rewards on coins when earning in Cell. That's not available in the United States yet. I believe and soon it's going to be available for accredited investors, which I'm going to apply for soon, so that I can get that bonus 25% in Cell and start earning in Cell. The Cell token is pretty stable compared to a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there, and its use cases, being able to earn more interest on your tokens when you're holding them on Celsius, and then you get loan discounts. You can borrow against your principal, depending upon how much principal you have. To when you pay back the interest, you get a discount on that. So, for example, I took a loan out for $2,000 to buy some teeth aligners. So I was able to get that at a 1% interest rate. So I'm only paying 1% interest, and then I'm getting to utilize my money. I still have to pay it back, but one, it's going to appreciate in value, so it's going to get easier to pay back, and two, I don't have to pay taxes on that money. If I had cashed it out, I'd have a capital gains tax of maybe anywhere between 20 and 40%. And so, as I said, we want to try to avoid the tax man as much as we want to avoid the fee man. So that's what allows us to do that. At 1%, that's nothing, and then I get a discount. So that's now I'm down to 0.75% interest. That's almost an interest-free loan that they're loaning me, and then I have to pay it back. And then if you accumulate enough cash, then you can start buying assets, whether it be rental properties, maybe it's mining equipment for Bitcoin, and then those assets will pay for themselves, and then you can pay back the loan with the money that those assets are generating, and then the rest is earned income. So then you got some earned income, and I'm right now I'm looking at possibly buying some mining equipment in the future. And then you're also first in line for updates, rollouts, and promos. So I will be as a Celsius ambassador and a platinum member. They're gonna roll out things like swaps, credit cards, and other promo codes that I can give out that I'll be first in line for. So those are some of the things. And try beating this. Try getting stuff like this at a bank. I mean, 1.75% loans. I mean that's unheard of. 8.8% interest on your dollars just sitting there. Try getting that at the bank. It's just great what Celsius is doing, and plus they do a lot of other things like proof of community, which is they show you exactly what's going on. It's not like all this black box that's spitting money out. They actually have it on a blockchain to show you where all the money's coming in, where it's going out. It's very exciting and very open and honest. It's more like a credit union than a bank, but it's even so much more than a credit union. And just love where they're headed. So the Coinbase link is $10 in free Bitcoin with $100 deposit. It's right there. I don't know, maybe you might find this slideshow on the internet somewhere. If you'll be able to click that link. I'll have them posted below as well on the video and on Twitter. And the Celsius link is $50 in stablecoins with a $400 deposit held for 30 days. And that's the link there. I'll have other links and promotions, and as I come up with more ways, I'm looking at DeFi, so I'll have some wallets I might be taking a look at, things like that. And so where will you find these signals? You will find them on Twitter. You can find me at Random Bitcoin Guy, at Forex_random. I know it's a horrible name, but that's where I got my start, was in Forex, and converted over to Bitcoin as I began to understand the dangers of fiat. And the signals will be in the pinned tweet. This was last week's. This is not the current signal. Just to let you know, as soon as I get off here, I will be working on putting up the new signal here shortly. So don't pay attention to these, but this is what it looks like. Our DCA, you're by the dip, and you're all in for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as I said, I'll be looking at Cardano to see if it qualifies for the dollar cost average beast mode strategy. And then I'll have this video will be listed in here, and I will have the affiliate links. Please like and subscribe this. I hope this helps you out. And good luck on your dollar cost average journey, because it's so simple and so easy and so stress-free. I will also be posting some videos I find helpful for me in how to develop a budget and stick to it and things like that. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll be able to bring out some more videos in the near future.